Attorneys for a man scheduled to die in 10 days have filed a motion asking the Tennessee Supreme Court to temporarily delay his execution. In a motion filed today, attorneys for Billy Ray Irick say his execution must wait on an appeals court to hear a case challenging the state's lethal injection protocol. Now, Irick is set to die on August 9th. He raped and murdered 7-year-old Paula Dyer in Knoxville back in 1985. Dyer's family says people do not mention her enough, if at all, when they talk about his execution.
Because all you ever hear about is him. Nothing about her. You know, what he did to her is the reason he's where he's at.
Her family says after more than 33 years, many people have forgotten why Irick is on death row. Coming up, we're going to dig into the archives for an in-depth look at the case against Irick and remember the life and death of Paula Dyer. Join us for that story tonight on 10 News at 6.